Hello. I am just pulling up a copy of the pattern. All right, so we've got the surfboard and the picnic table tonight. I'm gonna start over here just because. I'm also going to, I can't find my phone holder. Okay. I have two phones. My one that is recording is at like 9% and I have it plugged in. But my other one is at like 15. So it's not much better. So if this dies, I will get another video source. So anyways, hopefully we'll be fine with it plugged in, but just in case, just wanted to let you know. All right, so we're gonna do our surfboard first. I'm gonna use 4 strands of the pink. I'm gonna do my surfboard pink and yellow. You can use different colors if you want. So we're gonna use the 776 and 444 tonight. Unless you want to use a different color, you are totally welcome to use whatever colors you want. I'm going to start with the pink. And I'm going to use 4 strands. Move those out of the way. We're going to do some more satin stitch, which I know we've done a lot of on this project, but I hope you've learned some new things about satin stitch. Like when you're working in different directions or working in different shapes. So today we're gonna do some diagonal stitches. So let me grab my marker. Sorry. I just need you to decide what angle you want to stitch at. So I'm gonna do mine kind of in a deep V. Let me make sure that this line is where I want it. And then I'm just gonna kind of draw some guides in there. See, those aren't the same angle. So I wanna make sure I stay like that. I just like having a little guide for where I'm stitching. When I am stitching on a shape similar to this, or any shape that I'm working like at angles, I like to kind of start down a ways. I don't like to start at the top. I like to kind of start in the middle and then work my way up and down each side. So I'm gonna do this top part first, and then we will work our way down. So kind of keep in mind, like however far apart these 2 stitches are is how far apart these 2 stitches should be. That should keep your angles really nice. If it starts to get a little crazy, we can always work on fixing that. But you could also just stitch these vertically or horizontally. You don't have to stitch them at an angle, but you may as well practice stitching satin stitch different ways, because stitching in a straight line is a different skill than like stitching this way in a V. So anyways, it could take some practice. Are we using 6 strands? No, I'm using 4 strands. You can use 6. It will just be a little bulkier, which is fine. You can totally go for that look if you want. I've tried to kind of just be consistent with the 3 or 4 for the whole project so it all stays really consistent, but for sure, do what you want. Okay, so now that I have that top section done, I'm just gonna come back down here and finish the bottom area. Oops, those are not close enough together. Let me see. Sometimes if I have one that's not very close together like that, like you can see that tiny gap, if I come up right next to this and kind of like push it out of the way, it'll kind of push it a little bit closer together, and then I don't have to try and fill in that gap. That's gonna change my angle. See if that worked. That helped a little bit. Kind of just push it up a little bit out of the way. See, I'm starting to get like a little bit more angled like this as I'm working down. So if you start getting that way, then start up close and then go down a little bit further. So those ones are really close, but I'm just gonna come down a little bit further and kind of create that angle that I had started with, or that I wanted to start with. You can do that a couple times in a row and still get that shape that we were trying for there. Move that over a little. Okay, then once it's down onto the sand, we don't have to go to the middle anymore. We can just go like to the bottom of that surfboard, finish it out. Okay, so we've got half. So let me tie that off and then we can do our yellow. I also have this piece left from yesterday. Hold on, I have my needle from yesterday hanging here too, so I'm just tying that off as well. Okay. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with the yellow and grab 4 strands. So whatever you do on the one side, I would just do on the other. So if you used more than 4 strands, just use that same amount on the other side. Now, you could get a little crazy and add some pink on this side, or some yellow on the other side. I still have a tiny bit of a gap right there. So I could come in and just do like a couple yellow stripes if I wanted. You could fill in like, do yellow here, pink here, yellow here, and then do the opposite over here, pink, yellow, pink. Like if you wanted to get creative with this, you could totally go for it. Now, when I am stitching into the middle here, I am using the same holes that I did with the pink. So then they meet nicely in the middle. We don't have like a gap in our fabric. just helps like bridge that gap between the two stitches. All right, I'll come over here. Tonight and tomorrow will be a little bit faster. I thought that some of the buildings would take us, I thought that the snack shop especially would take us more than one day. And so, anyways, we kind of cruised through the days. So we don't have as much left as I thought we would when we got to this end of the week. So tomorrow we will just add some fun little details. Okay. This is a great stitch for leaves too. If you've got greens, then you've got a leaf. All right, to get that tied off. Okay. There is our leaf. I mean, our surfboard, you know, the pink and yellow leaf. All right, so let me move this real quick. Hold on, I gotta loosen this. If I can, I can't. Whoops. Nope, that's not gonna work, hold on. This is supposed to spin really easily, but it doesn't. Okay. Readjusting. Hold on. This is not setting up how I want it to. Okay. Here we go. All right, we're gonna do our cute little table. Now, we are going to work from the back of the table forward. So we're gonna do the back bench and then the back legs, and we'll do the top last. So then our stitches will kind of layer on top of one another. So I'm gonna use, I really like how the door turned out on the little turquoise and pink cut. So I'm gonna use the same, I'm gonna use 3 strands of the 420 and 1 strand of the 898. So we kind of have like a wood grain type look for our picnic table. Trying to see, my scraps are all a little short. So I'm gonna use those. Let's see what this has going on. That's short as well. The dark brown is a little bit longer though, so I'm gonna use that for a guide of how long to cut my lighter brown. All right, so we've got one strand of the 898 and 3 strands of the 420. All right, and we are going to stitch with those in the same needle and tie them together at the end, and we're ready to go. All right, so this back bench that I didn't draw is going to start here, and we're just gonna do some straight stitches. Do one. Oh, that's not straight. Hold on. This is not very stable in my hoop stand. Let me see if I can get it a little bit more snug. Okay, I think that's a little better. All right, so I'm going to do one more stitch. There. And then the top of the table. Down to here. And then from this side, and then from the center of this leg out to an angle a little bit there. Same with this one. And then we're going to do this bench right across those. It's going to come out a little bit further. One, two. Oh shoot, I should have done the other legs first. This is not straight, guys. I gotta take these ones out. This is one I should have practiced. Hold on, gotta pull this back too. Okay. Hold on, I gotta rethread my needle. Okay. So we've got our back. I'm looking at my drawing because I felt like those angles were right, but these ones are not looking right. Starting over. Whoop. I like to problem solve on camera because I feel like this is like a skill you have to learn when you're doing embroidery. So that obviously didn't work. Let's simplify it. Let's do the top of the table first, because then we will have our angles to work with. Okay. So I'm gonna start at this edge. And I want it to be lined up with this. So is that the right angle with this? It's pretty close. It looks crooked, but I think it's just because of this drawing that I have. All right, I'm gonna keep that angle and do the rest of the top. And we're not worried about if these are close enough together because it's a picnic table and those have gaps a lot of times, right? So we are not worried if there is some gapping. Okay. Those lines covered up, it looks a little less wrong, but maybe I did these angles a little too much. Okay, so we've got these front table legs, and they're gonna go out at an angle a little bit. And this one is going to go out at an angle a little bit as well, but we want it to line up with this one. Not quite that much of an angle. Yeah? And then let's do the bench across these two. Okay. I still feel like we need the back legs and another stitch here. This was a lot easier to draw than it is to stitch. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Okay, so these ones, the back legs are about here. So what I'm gonna do is come up, but then I'm gonna go under here. And they would line up with this end. So if we did that, and they can end, I mean, you could stitch it if you wanted, and like go under. So you make sure that they line up correctly and then go down in this hole. Just don't go under that top stitch. Somebody that's better at dimensions is going to look at this and be like, this girl is wrong. And I'm going to say, it's okay. Do the same thing and come up and then go down in this hole so it connects to that corner. I don't know. That's pretty good. What do we think? Is that good enough to be done? I don't think it needs a bench on the other side. That was kind of a process. I'm gonna look at it for one more second and decide. I think we know that that's a table. Maybe these legs could be a little bit longer. I'm just gonna stitch under this leg of the table, or that little bench, and make that just a little bit longer. Same thing over here. And just extend that a little bit. I feel pretty good about that. I'm gonna leave it. Okay. That is it for me tonight. Tomorrow we will do the sand and our little crab, and maybe add in some like clouds or birds if you want to. So work on that. I would love to see your tables. Let me see them. Send them to me so I can see if yours looks like mine. I'm very curious now. So anyways, you guys have a good night. I will see you in the morning for our last live to finish these up. Okay, have a good night. Bye.